At this point, I've tried over 100 keyboards and this is my number one pick for Hall Effect keyboard. It's the Chilkey Slide 75HE, and besides the usual Hall Effect benefits, there are two main reasons why I really like it and why it's my current daily driver. First, it has this very practical assembly system, making it very easy to customize, and second, this is by far the best sounding Hall Effect keyboard I've ever tried. Chilkey did send me this keyboard for review. They have no inputs in the video and all opinions are purely my own. Starting with the build quality, the case is made of full CNC aluminum and weighs around 1.8 kilograms. It feels premium and very well built, just a tiny bit heavier compared to my custom keyboard, which has a literal brass weight on the bottom. What I really like are the soft and smooth edges. Holding the keyboard feels very comfortable, whether I want to grab it somewhere or simply reposition it. It's a 75% layout, which gives you all the essentials like arrow keys and F-row, while still maintaining its compact size. To me, 75% and 65% layouts are the sweet spots both for gaming and productivity use. You don't sacrifice any of these functional keys just for extra mouse space. The overall design is minimalist and clean. On the front, you have a Chilkey logo and a textured aluminum weight on the bottom, which is a clean touch to the overall aesthetic. There are two color options for this keyboard. One is full black and the second is gray. I got the gray one, while on the website the case looks gray. In real life, it looks very dark gray, even almost black. At least it's not as obvious as the gray keycaps, which you can clearly differentiate from the black alpha keys. The keycaps are double shot PVT, and to my surprise, they have a very smooth texture, unlike most PVT keycaps. I don't usually talk much about the keycaps, but this one actually surprised me by how good they look and feel. I personally cannot differentiate the surface feeling between these PVT keycaps and expensive ABS keycaps from GMK. And by the way, this is a $100 keycap set, and comparing these keycaps side by side, they both look almost identical. Of course, the GMK has cooler design and premium ABS material, but it's still impressive considering these came stock with the keyboard. It's also incredibly easy to open this keyboard. It uses a ball catch system that lets you pop off the top case without any tools, which makes modding way easier. This is an amazing feature that you don't find that often in other keyboards. The only other example I can find is the Cycle 8 by TKD, but this is a custom keyboard with limited availability. So having this practical feature on a gaming keyboard that's widely available is pretty great. Once it's open, you can see the whole internal structure of the keyboard. It's gasket mounted using silicone pads, giving the board a soft and slightly bouncy typing feel. It's not crazy bouncy like other keyboards I've tried, but still much better compared to stiff tray mount keyboards. Underneath the plate, there is a cork layer, PE foam, a PET sheet, and PCB foam. It's a lot of foam, I know, but this results in a full and marbly sound profile right off the box, which you will hear later. The board comes with Gateron magnetic Jet Pro switches, some of the best magnetic switches out there. They are pre-looped, smooth, and have a closed bottom housing, which eliminates the chattery sound you often hear with magnetic switches. The stabilizers are also well duped from the factory, no noticeable rattle with my unit. But there is a minor issue using these switches. You cannot get accurate RGB lighting because the top housing of the switch tints the light. When I change the color to white, it shows light blue because of the teal green color of the switch housing. Same issue I got with another keyboard I reviewed recently. It's a specific switch related issue, not a big deal breaker, but still worth mentioning. Before we did the sound test, Chilkey also sent me the WS Flux switches, and these are also one of the best magnetic switches I've tried. They have quite a different design, feel very smooth, and sound very marbly. Here's the sound test. Sound-wise, they are both good. The Jet Pros sound more creamy, while the WS Flux sound a bit louder and more marbly. I personally prefer the WS Flux sound profile. They feel really good, but not gonna lie, it's hard to recommend since they cost $20 per 10 switches, which is a very expensive price tag for switches. There are 80 keys on this keyboard, so it means you would have to spend $160 for the switches alone just to cover this keyboard. And the keyboard alone costs $180 $189. They are amazing switches, but I cannot justify the premium price. Honestly, just save your money and stick with Gateron Magnetic Jade Pros. They are very good switches, which I'm sure most of you will be satisfied with. This board runs at 8000Hz polling rate, and you can set the actuation point as low as 0.005mm. That sounds crazy, but take it with a grain of salt here. I've talked many times that we cannot actually notice the difference jumping to 8000Hz polling rate, and 0.005mm is not usable, at least in my case. Making it higher to 0.01mm is still usable, although it's extremely sensitive. I don't even recommend most people using it. Realistically, in games like Valorant or CS, where you cannot move to shoot accurately, it's ideal to use 0.1mm actuation or higher so you don't have accidental inputs. In other games like Marvel Rivals or Overwatch, you can try playing around with lower than 0.1mm, but just know that it won't be a huge game changer that will suddenly make you a better player. Overall, the performance is good, rapid trigger is responsive, and SOCD is working normally. Using this keyboard, I don't experience any issues that are holding me back while gaming. The Slice 75HE uses a web-based software, which is very nice and practical. You can adjust the actuation point from 0.005 to 3.3mm, and the polling rate from 1000Hz to 8000Hz. You also get full control over lighting, rapid trigger settings, top and bottom dead zones, SOCD, macros, and different profiles to customize. Firmware updates can also be done directly from the browser, so you don't need to download anything. It's very seamless, just like Wooding's utility. It's a great experience overall, very easy to use and navigate. However, there are a few minor issues with this keyboard, such as RGB color shift caused by the switch housings, a loose rubber foot on my unit, and one missing silicon pad. I haven't seen anyone mentioning these problems, so it could be just my particular sample unit, but none of these issues really affect my experience using the keyboard, so I wouldn't consider any of them deal breakers. Overall, the Chilkey Slice 75HE is a very well-rounded gaming keyboard that nails nearly everything perfectly. The build quality is premium with its full CNC aluminum case. It has a simple aesthetic, clean and minimalistic design, and the stock keycaps are better than I expected for a gaming keyboard. The ball catch system makes disassembly very straightforward, which is not something you see often even in custom keyboard. And it's equipped with a nice web-based software offering all the necessary functions without requiring any downloads. At $189, it's certainly not a budget price. It's competing directly against other premium Hall effect keyboards on the market. Although this is my number one pick for Hall effect keyboard, I wouldn't say that this keyboard is miles ahead of the competition. It's more about how this Slice 75HE offers certain better features that I personally value more, like the toolless assembly system and a good sound profile that I genuinely like. Which, to be fair, there are a lot of mediocre and bad sounding Hall effect keyboards, even the expensive ones. At this price point, I would expect a premium build quality, practical software, and a soft typing feel, which they also deliver well. For that reason, this is currently my top 1 recommendation for a Hall effect keyboard. I'll be maining this keyboard from now on, but I cannot say for sure whether it'll be for a long time or not. Just a few months ago, the Melgeek Mate 68 Ultra was my favorite, still a great keyboard by the way, but 4 months later it switched to this keyboard, the Slice 75HE. Lots of new boards keep coming out and there's a lot of competition. Wooding gonna release their 60V2, Asus with their split wireless magnetic keyboard, and other brands that we probably never heard of. This is good at the end of the day for us customers. It means we'll get better products at better prices. And if you're planning to pick one up, I've put a 10% discount code in the description and pinned comment. I received no commission from it. Chilkey gave it so you can grab it a little cheaper.